So, finally made it up to the Sheila Fell exhibition at Tullie House in Carlisle. So I'm just going to do a quick walk around posterity. It's kind of the end of the exhibition really, it's finishing in a couple of weeks, then it moves up to Sunderland. So yeah, it's amazing. So I've just had a look around now, but I'm just going to record a bit now so you can have a look. So, this tells you a little bit about the exhibition. Sheila Fell, born 1931, died 1979. She was only 48 when she died. Originally from Spatria in Cumberland, painter of the local landscape of Cumberland, but predominantly worked out of London, studio in London. Studied at St Martin's. Amazing artist. So let's have a look around at some of the art. Now this exhibition has been done rather than sort of chronologically. It's been put together with regards to themes, I think, predominantly. But this particular area is actually earlier works. Actually, having said that, so these are works from the 1950s here. A lot of works from private collections and also public collections. Skiddaw in summer. These are amazing landscape paintings. Cumbrian village under snow. Some of these darker works that she painted earlier on, really. These are from the 50s. I suppose in some ways, kind of like Lowry, how he lightened his palette in his career, as advised by Villette. I suppose Sheila did that as well to some extent, where her palette kind of lightened with into the 60s and 70s. This is an interesting one here from the 50s. I've never seen this one before. Mother in Bed, early 1950s. Like a little small work there. That's quite lovely, that. It does mention here about her connection with Lowry, who acquired several of Sheila's works over the years. First sort of came across them in an exhibition, and they've got a couple of Lowry drawings in here. These are Cumbrian paint sort of images by Lowry. Gathering Sticks in the Snow, like that one. Autumn Cumberland. I mean, it's just tons and tons of these works. This one behind me, which I'll try and, I don't know how it'll take on the camera, but you have to sort of stand back because it's quite big. There's so much atmosphere in that. Like a real sort of stormy scene. That's Hillside with Farms, 1958. It's quite expressionistic sort of brushstrokes on that, especially in that sky there. It does actually make me think of like a Peter Prendergast, to be honest with you. But, I like that. That's huge, big work. And again, another landscape. Now what I'll do is I'll nip here because there's actually a section on portraits, which I think is actually earlier part of the exhibition, if I did it in number terms. But it states there that towards shortly before her death, she declared that she would sort of concentrate on portraits. Now some of these are actually earlier than that though. That one there, Portrait of the Artist's Mother, like 56 to 57. Quite, maybe a sorrowful looking lady there in the expression. Beautifully painted. Clifford Rowan, who was a lifelong friend of Sheila's. Portrait there of Dorothy Hodgkin. And then I'll go back the way I was. I'll have a look at that one at the end actually. I'll bring you to that one at the end, but we'll here's sort of Mary Port. Some of the coastal scenes here, Solway Coast. Come around here now. Now I absolutely love these charcoals works because I've not really seen many of these in the flesh, and so these are amazing. Steve? Hi. That's a Joseph Herman. Yeah, well, all right. Joseph Herman there. That's a lithograph. That, yeah. So he was interesting. He had some connections with Sheila. Joseph Herman. He painted a lot of the miners really, in Wales, Astrag and Weiss in Wales, and yeah, interesting artist. And he was an RA as well, and would have known Sheila. Okay, that one there actually, I've seen that one before because that's in Salford Art Gallery's collection, I think. Yes, it is. Houses near Spacia. That's gouache. Yeah, I've seen that one, and we've seen that on the wall in Salford.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's quite a big painting for gouache.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Yep. So these are some of her farms and farmyards. It's great to see these because so many of them are on loan from private collections, so you'll never get a chance to see them again really. So it does travel to Sunderland after here, so if you are able to come and see it, it's well worth it. I mean, it's had thousands and thousands of people visit as well. Been busy, quite busy today while we've been here. So these are works of Aspatia, sort of where she grew up, and go back to 1959. This one here is very much a darker work. This must be from the 50s, 56, Wedding Aspatia. And you've got that one there, which is Queen Street, which is where she lived. I'll come around here now. They've got the film on there, the monitor programme, which is great as well. This work here apparently it was the final work that she was, potentially a final painting really, unfinished. She was doing this up to a couple of weeks before she died, working on this painting. So this is late 70s, and from what I gather it was in pretty bad shape. It was been stored in a shed or something and sort of needed a fair bit of restoration work, which has been undertaken. There's a little video about it there, about the process of it being restored. So yeah, that was apparently a final known painting. Quite a large canvas as well. Come into this big space as well now. Even more landscapes. These are to do with farms, the working land. This section is titled. In fact, this area here, these 4 paintings here are work of an area that she went back, she sort of discovered later on, which was in the 70s, which was in Yorkshire, in North Yorkshire. So there's some images. It'd be interesting to see if we can find that building actually. It's still there. Look at this, these workers. I really like this one. This is 1967 Cumberland landscape. So much impasto, thick textured paint going on here. Look at that, the way the paint's just moved around to create the sort of outline of the cart. I love that. Harvest Field in Cumberland there. Now this one here is quite interesting because that is Sheila Fell's largest painting by all accounts. It's massive. I don't know how wide it is. It's probably 7 feet wide or something. It's a big, massive painting, and it was interesting in the fact that it was owned by Ellis Lowry, but apparently it was too massive to have in Lowry's house, so he let the Reverend Geoffrey Bennett have that work, and so he had it in his collection for many years. And the story goes that apparently Lowry or Bennett or both of them did some alterations to this work which Sheila didn't approve of. I think Sheila did actually want to exhibit this painting in the Royal Academy. I mean, it was painted in 62. I think she'd want to show it, exhibit it, but when she saw it, what had been done to it, I think, from what I gather, that cow there they tried to paint on extra legs onto it or something, because you can only kind of see 2 legs at the back. They'd done some messing around with it anyway, and maybe a few other bits they'd done to it, and so you can see that it looks like there's a bit of damage on the painting, which I think is Spirit, where she's tried to take off some of the extra bits that they've done, that they've made, and the extra marks they've made onto the painting. I'm not sure, but it's it looks like it looks damaged, to be honest with you, because of as to what's happened to it. But yeah, it's interesting. It's got a story behind it with a connection with Lowry there. But yeah, it's a massive work, and yeah, I think it's a private collection. I don't know who owns it now, but there you go. This one is lovely, very much reminiscent of the brush handling of Frank Auerbach, I think, with this one. This is 1967, and just look at the long brush strokes on there in that work. If it does pick up, it's under glass, so maybe not, but that's Planting Potatoes 3. I do like that one a lot. Farm, the heavy impastoed work there, Cumberland Landscape 3. They're all huge. This one here, Landscape with Yellow Cloud, is interesting because this was actually owned by Lowry as well, and he actually had it in his house. There's a photograph of Lowry with this in the background. Sheila Fell's daughter apparently came and saw this in the exhibition, and she said that this is her favourite Sheila Fell work, I think, possibly. That's what I've been told by some guy here. It's not very clear because it's under glass and it's very reflective, so it's very dark and brooding landscape with a yellow cloud over the top, and it's 1962. Yeah, it's really interesting. Sort of play with light on that, I think, and the effects of it. I like that one. And the huge one, Autumn Cumbria. Yeah, and it's amazing. You come and you'd find your favourite probably by having a look around. And they're sort of changing techniques, I think, in farming, sort of from the 60s on and the 50s, the earlier works, and you can see in the later works, like these ones here, where there's machinery coming in, different types of machinery, the tractors there and whatever other methods of farming, versus perhaps where you see in some of the earlier works where they're using scythes and whatnot to do these things. But this is a 70s work. That one there. Cumbria Landscape. What they've done is, as well, with this exhibition, they've actually involved children. They've asked for their opinions on some of the paintings. So yeah, people have sort of said with that one, like a children's remark on that particular one there. I like that it has detail. I like it because it has like a darker shade. I just like the patterns. I like the detail in the hay. I like the patterns in the hay. And that's yeah, they've done that with quite a lot of the paintings. That's nice. They've even got Sheila Fell's easel. Let's have a look at that. Laid out there. That's nice to see. There's some letters. If you ever do go up to Espatria, you can find a house which is on 69 Queen Street in Espatria. Just don't knock on the door because I don't think they'd be too happy. And then you've got here a letter which is a recommendation from the head of painting department. 5th of November 1953. That's cool. Some newspaper cuttings here, and exhibition catalogues in this little cabin here. Those are out there. Various cuttings from newspapers. That's cool to see those. Oh, that's like a print. Is it a big lithograph or something? That's huge, isn't it? Look at that. Oh, it's a screen print. Country Road screen print. Look at that. That's a big rascal. And there's the film. And what I'll do is, oh yeah, this last bit here, these are snowscapes. So this section is snowscapes. They're very easy on the eye, snowscapes. I think they sort of have the most sort of appeal, general public appeal, you know, because everybody loves a snowscape. And so that's beautiful. Stacks Winter. This is one that I particularly like as well. Springing in Cumberland 2. The composition is very nice with that. And the balance is nice, and you see the cows in the foreground there. The figure in the foreground. This one here, Heavy Snow in Cumbria. Look at that. Awesome. Look at this one here, this landscape with farm, really almost sort of abstract looking. 1960. It's just beautiful. One of the guides here said that this is his favourite painting in the exhibition, the Winter Cumberland, and he sort of loved the atmosphere of it. Now, we're back here at the sorry, we're back here at the charcoal drawings then, and then I'm just going to take you through now. Hi, say hi. I'll take you through now to the final picture I'll just look at today, which is a portrait of Sheila by Frank Auerbach, charcoal. That's from 1954. Of course, they were fellow students at the Royal College. Sorry, at St Martin's. Yeah, there you go. Love that. And that's 1954. And I've never seen that in the flesh, so it's really cool to see that. I've seen it reproduced a lot, so it's nice to see it in the flesh. There's a little bit of a quote there from Auerbach. Artists associated with landscape that embodies their feelings include Constable with Suffolk, Richard Wilson and the Welsh Mountains, Stanley Spencer Cookham and Joan Erdley and the wild Scottish coast. Trends and movements are not significant as more than background. Sheila Fell's passionate involvement with the landscape around Aspatia and her talent in industry have assured the survival of her work. Frank Auerbach. And I think he wrote that for the he wrote something basically about Sheila for the exhibition shortly before Frank himself died last year. So yeah, that's the exhibition. How cool is that? So there you go. Go and see it. It's now early March 2025. I think it might be the 3rd of March today, 2025. So yeah, okay, hope you enjoyed. Bye bye.